Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
The wait is over. There is a new pope in charge of the Catholic Church. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. It was a full day of celebration in St. Peter's Square. We have a live look now at Vatican City. Well, it's much quieter now 4 in the morning there. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost has been elected as the 266th Pope. He has taken the name Pope Leo XIV.
Pope Leo XIV was elected on the 4th ballot of the conclave after 2 days of voting. Despite keeping a low public profile, he is well known within the church. He previously led the Vatican's powerful Office of Bishops. The 69-year-old is a Chicago native and a graduate of Villanova University. But like Pope Francis, has a background in South America, spending much of his career as a missionary and minister in Peru, later becoming Archbishop. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro spoke with local Catholics about the big news and what it means moving forward.
You could feel that joy and excitement at Vatican City through the TV if you were watching that moment that white smoke started pouring out of the chimney at the Sistine Chapel. And then came even more joy and excitement, and then surprise once Pope Leo XIV revealed himself. And that surprise to see the first ever Pope from the U.S. quickly rippled around the globe, including here in Connecticut. Pope Leo XIV emerges, greeted by cheers, joy, and surprise.
I have to say, when the announcement was made that Cardinal Prevost was to be our next pope, I was stunned. The first words out of my mouth were a 2-letter phrase, of which the first word is holy, and I will leave the second word to your imagination.
To put it more plainly, Archbishop Christopher Coyne with the Archdiocese of Hartford says he never thought an American would be elected pope.
At no time in the history of the church has a pope who was a native son of the reigning superpower of the world, at least in the West, been elected to the greatest of all spiritual offices in the West.
Americans across the country are celebrating the historic moment.
He had a great message for unity, to build bridges.
I know that he's very level-headed, that he's well thought of. He was well thought of in Rome,
including Catholics in Connecticut.
With what's been happening in the past couple of years in America, I think people feel very tired. There's been a lot of political turmoil. There's been a lot of stress. There's wars going on. And I think that the fact that cardinals from across the world came together and decided to make an American the Pope is a really powerful message that's not lost on us.
Jack Abbott and Sidney Crockett are with the Southern Connecticut State University Newman Society.
The last Pope Leo XIII, he was a big contender of social justice, and I think Leo XIV is kind of trying to send that same message.
The students, along with Catholic leaders, hope the church's new era energizes the faith.
When I first heard the news, people in the school were celebrating, people were hugging each other. I don't think in my entire life I've seen that kind of positive reaction to a news story.
Here in the Archdiocese of Hartford over the past year, we've been seeing significant growth.
It took cardinals only 2 days to select a new pope. That is among the shortest conclaves in recent decades. Reporting in Bloomfield, I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61.
All right, time now for a weather impact alert for you. More rain is on the way, and it could create more problems.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. So when's the next round of wet weather going to start, Rachel?
Well, we're never going to fully dry out tonight, but we are in kind of a break in the action where these showers are kind of benign. But as we head towards and after daybreak tomorrow, rain will become steadier, and I think it will be the heaviest between 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. tomorrow night. So we have issued that weather impact alert for poor drainage issues, for the potential for some river flooding. So you might need some extra travel time. Also, just make sure the sump pump is ready to go. It's plugged in, it's got the battery backup, and make sure that any gutters on your street or any storm drains have a clear path so the water has somewhere to go. Here's a look at some of the downpours and storms that came through earlier. And again, we still have a few leftover showers out there, but nothing terribly heavy. As I mentioned before, though, that will change, though, heading through your Friday. Overnight lows will stay in the 50s. We'll see periods of rain as we head through the day tomorrow. And notice it's raining right out of the gate when we wake up tomorrow morning. We'll take a closer look. Your full forecast coming up.
Rachel, thank you. New tonight, a man is in jail after police in Watertown charged him with kidnapping in a pair of decades-old cases. Police say 62-year-old John Church committed the crimes during the summer of '82 and the summer of '83. At the time, both victims were 6 years old. Police say the investigation started in January of this year after allegations of sexual abuse were made to the officers. While investigators worked with the Waterbury State's Attorney's Office, they were told the statute of limitations for sexual assault charges expired. Church is being held on $1.5 million bond and is due in court tomorrow.
Well, tonight, a discussion about an increase in hate crimes in Connecticut. Community leaders hosted a meeting at West Hartford Town Hall, and part of that discussion was how people can prevent hate crimes. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has that important message.
Yeah, according to the Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, Connecticut has seen more than a 50% increase in hate crimes since 2021. Now, that concerning trend has some of the state's top law enforcement leaders speaking directly to communities like here in West Hartford.
If you feel like you've been targeted or you're the victim of a hate crime, it's not for you to decide or to try to figure out if it's a hate crime or not. Please report it.
Law enforcement leaders spoke with people in West Hartford Thursday night, talking about the importance of understanding how hate crimes are identified, reported, and investigated. West Hartford Chief of Police Vernon Riddick Jr. says one of the first steps to help minimize hate crime is to educate the public.
Education is king. Sometimes people are hindered to reporting crimes. They don't know what to report.
According to the Anti-Defamation League, in 2024, Connecticut remained historically high with a 450% increase in hate incidents in the state. The data shows a total of 159 incidents, with 55 of those incidents in public areas. The data says New Haven reported the most with 30 incidents, and Hartford reported the fewest with 13 incidents. Officials with the Connecticut State Police Hate Crimes Investigative Unit say race, religion, and gender are just some of the major motivators for such a hate crimes. And law enforcement leaders say the best way to prevent these incidents and to keep you and your family safe is by speaking up.
Because that may matter down the road if he does commit a crime. That name's in the database and we can follow up with it. Okay? So always report it, even though it may not fit the criteria to be a crime, always report it, because you never know what information might help law enforcement down the road.
West Hartford officials also suggest learning more about the available resources in the community.
Yes, whether it's a hate crime or any crime, silence is what a perpetrator wants. By getting involved and being vocal and being loud and letting your voice be heard is a way that we all collectively can work together to combat hate crime.
Again, law enforcement wants to remind people to speak up when these incidents are taking place. All tips are anonymous. In West Hartford, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
And at the state capitol today, people rallied for tenants' rights.
Now, they say they want a certain tenant protection law expanded to include all tenants. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot talked to the demonstrators today.
In front of the state capitol, people spoke about the importance of supporting the Just Cause for All bill. If passed, this would expand eviction protection to tenants of all ages and abilities.
Just call. Just call. Just call. Just call.
Connecticut's Just Cause law requires landlords to provide justification in order to evict tenants over the age of 62 or tenants with disabilities. This is why senior citizens, disabled tenants, and members of the Connecticut Tenant Union like Linda Talley and Lori Lynn Ross are calling on lawmakers to include all tenants in that law.
They need special glasses to see the need, that there's a need for this. People have to get out of the apartments. Where they're going? To the street. They have children. They're young. And if there's a plan in place for people that have this need, we won't have so many crimes, because people are going to get what they need when they need it, any way they can.
Lori Lynn Ross got involved because of her grandson and daughter.
He was the whole reason why I had initially started going to the meetings, trying to understand about my community and how we could make it better. And if they decide to rent at any given time, it's important that they have these protections to protect them, their home, their family.
For some renters at the rally, this hits close to home. Josephina Cruz says she was given an eviction notice for no reason.
This was totally surprise. I have no money saved.
Cruz says she pays rent on time and has been struggling mentally ever since she received the eviction letter.
I'm going to work like everything's normal, but I could be on the street at the end of this month. I feel embarrassed, like as if I did something wrong. I did nothing wrong.
People in support of this bill say lawmakers told them passing this bill is the right thing to do.
A legislator said to me, intellectually in my mind, I don't support expanding just cause, but in my heart and in my conscience, I understand I have to. Because the people I represent are suffering. Because we live in a bona fide housing crisis.
People that I spoke with say something has to change because this is no way to live. In Hartford, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Governor Lamont says one of the state's top health advisors and one of the major faces who provided health insight and support during the pandemic, Dr. Deirdre Gifford, is retiring from state office. Dr. Gifford currently serves as the commissioner of the Office of Health Strategy. She was acting public health commissioner during the peak of the pandemic in 2020 and was the governor's top advisor when it came to handling COVID-19. Dr. Gifford told the governor she plans on retiring next month.